Demo, everybody. Yay! Okay, so again, what you, oh wow, that looks terrible right there. But you can go back and watch the video later and then see what everything is. So basically, bio page 1, what you're going to have to do is, that's awesome. For those of you watching this at home, the bulb in the projector looks like the red has gone out. So our projector looks like if you were wearing very dark, if you like were wearing that welding, right? The green welding. Who's ever done that? Worn the welding gear, right? You know what I'm talking about. Okay, but whatever. So you are going to have to A, create a new document. B, create your own document. C,
create a document.
Right. You can download mine for reference, bio page 1 here, okay? So if you download bio page 1 and open it up, let's take a look at what it looks like. So one way, shape, or form, what your objective is with this assignment is that you have a logo now. Or you will when you turn in your logo specification. So in terms of setting type for your bio page, there's a few different things that you need to do. One is the way companies brand themselves in publications, or how they carry through their brand, let's say, is a lot of times companies will use the same typeface for headlines through their web page, their collateral, their et cetera, okay? So here is where, if my logo was done in Arial black, right? I then am using the style or the font Arial black, right, for my headlines. Now, according to the logo specification, let's revisit the logo specification very, very quickly here and show you how and why this ties together. So if I go to logo specification and we open this document here, okay? There is a lot more specifications in here than you really need to go with. The specifications that I am looking for are, what typeface did you use? And did you do anything special to it that you may need to use to recreate other type? For instance, if I download this logo type specification, I already have it in my documents folder, logo type specification. All right. So if I open this up, and I zoom in a bit, what I'm saying here is I'm using Arial black, and in this case, I did a 90% width and a 10-degree shear, right? I don't necessarily need you to tell me what size type this is. I just did that for reference in terms of the P is 135% the size of the rest of the letters. That may or may not be appropriate or important, right? But what is important is that if I need to recreate headlines or graphical type anywhere that needs to represent this logo, I may need to do something like, if I go here to this headline, I may say 90% width, right? Because that was what I did to the logo. I could go even a step further. Now there's no italic version of Arial black, right? So that's where come on, let me see what other tools are under there. Really? You're not going to let me see what tools are under there? I hate you. There we go. Rotate, shear. So if I then double click the shear tool and said 10 degrees, now unfortunately it's going to shear everything 10 degrees, right? That's not necessarily what I want. But I did do that when we get to looking at the business card. If I look then at the type on the back of my business card here, right? I went with a 98% width. Oops, whatever. It's got a 10-degree shear, okay? So the idea behind your logo specification is to let other designers know. How many of you have ever gotten a logo from another designer and you had to set type or do some kind of branding based off of their brand, right? So basically you may have done, if we just go to the good old Google machine and say brand style guide sample. It's like rolling the dice here. Yahoo, really? Come on. 20 inspiring brand guidelines. Sure, let's look at that one.
Well, Yahoo's powered by Google.
Sure, whatever. They will have to give you, they will give you specifications in terms of, you know, what's the type, what's the spacing, what's the this, what's the color, blah, 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 right? So for you, this is a good exercise in terms of, great, I've got my logo, right? I just need to say, this is Arial Black, 10-degree shear, and PMS 430 is the color. This is PMS 186. This up here, Arial Regular, 90% width, 10-degree shear, etc., PMS 430, right? So if I were then doing a logo specification for, or let's do this. Do I have my Workstation Technologies logo available for download? I don't know, but let's do this. Let's pretend that, let's just pretend I'm going to recreate the Workstation Technologies, right? So if I save image as, documents, save, right? So let's say I'm going to redo something like this. From my recollection, this is Adobe Garamond. This is Universe 47. Do I have a vector download of that? No. I know I have it somewhere. Screw it. Let's just pretend I have one. So I then would be, if we are doing bio page, I would be bringing my logo in here, and then I need to set type for headlines, paragraphs, block quotes, et cetera, right? So let's say that then I wanted to do a new document, and you can do, you know, whatever size document you want. If I'm going to do a 620 pixel column, I might use for this document 960, and I'm probably going to want it taller than I am going to want it wide. So 960 by I don't know, 1200, let's say, you know. Okay, here it is. Now, huh?
Is this going to be for print or website?
Both, right? In other words, it's generic, right? So let's say I need to make a 620 guide, right? Here's a trick that you're going to learn in Web 200. You want to learn it now?
Yes.
Remember how I said you can make guides out of objects? Who remembers? Good, one person remembers, right? So if I take the rectangle tool and I say 620 pixels wide, okay, I've got my box there, okay? So if I then take that box and do this, right, and then make it bigger. So it's still 620 wide, right? You can see it right here. It's still 620 wide. So if I then want to align this, take my align palette. If I want to align to artboard and I want to center it to the artboard both horizontally and vertically, so it's right dead center in the artboard, right? Or if I know that, oh, I'm gonna have to draw some specifications over here, I might, because all I'm worried about is that you are just setting type in a column. That's all I'm really worried about with your logo. However fancy schmancy you want to make it is up to you. But let's say then, okay, I'm just going to push this all the way over here because I need to, for this assignment, call out specifications, and this looks like enough room to call out specifications, correct? Sure, why not? Now, I can then say, view, guides, make. Okay, so now I have, and you can't see it because and the projector. They're there. Trust me.
You sure?
When you go and watch the video, they will be there. Okay. So yeah, it's recording now. I got it working because I sent an email to the guy, and apparently he made a typo in the script he wrote to install the thing. Shit happens. It's cool.
No,
you know,
I know. I'm just.
Whatever. Moving on. Right.
Rad.
Exactly. So now what I'm going to do is, so remember how we said make a type box first. But before that, I need to go grab some lorem ipsum text. So I have a secret folder on my school site that has some interesting stuff in it, like don't tell anybody, especially don't tell the whole world via YouTube, that now here's the thing, right? People watching this on video don't know what I'm pointing to on the projector, right? So let's say
It's pretty secret.
right? Let's say you want those. That's CCCPremiumDW.com. Examples. But in this folder then, I have just a lorem ipsum file that I did a select all, copy, right? Went back to Illustrator here, and I then took my type tool and drew it right over top of the grid lines that you can't see because the projector is broken. And then pasted that in there. Okay, so this is how I start. I'd also maybe think to myself, maybe I should give a little bit more room at the top. So let's say I wanted to unlock my guides and move them. I'll just move this type down for the time being. And if I went View, Guides, back to Lock, I can now select the guide and then kind of move it down a little bit like that. Again, trust me, it's there. Go back, Guides, Lock Guides. Let's say I want to now bring my logo in here. I can do one of two things. I can import it and place it, or I can just copy it and paste it in. I'm going to go for just copy and paste it in, okay? So if I go back to the Finder level here, and I say logo type specification, and I've then grouped it, copy it, bio page 1, untitled, paste. Okay. Now that I've done that, I was going to do my workstation one, but let's just do this one for right now. Okay. So when I do that, what I've also done is if I go to the swatches palettes, I always forget which one is the swatches over there. So if I go to the swatches palette, it should have imported my color maybe. Let's see. Small list view. Yes. So it has then just imported my colors in there. So if you're like me and you get annoyed with all the other colors in there, you can just start kind of deleting unnecessary colors and save this as, what is this? New bio page 1 Sincula. That's me. Okay. So now if I wanted to take this text and make it that color, I could, right? So why don't we just do that for the time being? But now, again, we want to take a look at this text, and given our last lecture, we want to make sure that all paragraphs have a space on the bottom and that they are a certain size in its column with a certain leading. So if I said 16 points over, whoops, should do a select all on that, right? 16 over what now if we're doing the 2/3 rule? 24, okay? And again, if we turn on hidden characters, we can see that there are paragraph returns between paragraphs. We don't want that. So I'm just going to delete those. Okay. Then selecting all. I also want this to be Arial regular. And I want all paragraphs then to have a 10-point space at the bottom. Okay. Now, if I then want to say main headline, let's do this. It's a good idea to have a couple of paragraphs per headline. Well, except once you learn writing for the web, you will know that after the main headline should come the summary. Just go with it. Subheadline, then I'm going to do 2 paragraphs sub headline. Because one way, shape, or form, what I'm worried about you guys doing is I want you to see 2 paragraphs in a row without a headline between them. So if you give me one instance of that, that's fine. Okay, does that make sense? So then if I go to this main headline then, and I want this main headline to be character 36 points, right? Arial, I'm going to go Arial black. I'm going to say 90%, right? Because that's what I'm doing. On this main headline now, if I go back to paragraph, it's picked up and even given an extra, right? Now, there are styles in Illustrator, right? I don't want to get into those. I might complicate you, right? But there are styles like you do in Word and in CSS and that kind of stuff. But if you do this and you say, I want 8 points after that main headline, then this subheadline there, I want that one to be 24. I'm just picking stuff at random just because why not? Again, 90% width. Then if I say, well, I want space before to be 8, space after to be 4, right? There it is. Same thing if I went to this subheadline. And again, this is where, let's try styles. View, type. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? View, window, type, character styles, normal character style. New character style, sub, headline, okay. So if I opened up sub headline, I haven't done the styles in a while. Ooh, paragraph styles. There it is. New paragraph style. Sub headline, right? And I open that up. Come on, open it up. There we go. It then says, ooh, Arial black, size, what was the sub headline, 24? Leading. On headlines, I typically do 100% leading or 150 or 125% leading. Let's do 24 over 24. Kerning and tracking, we'll leave it alone. Advanced character, horizontal scale, blah, 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 indent spacing. Space before, space after. There it is. Indents and spacing, space before, space after. Okay, sweet. Then I can select that and say, yay, subheadline. Oh, there we go. Hold down the Option key. Woo! Let's say normal paragraph style. General. Character. Arial, regular, size, 16, leading, 24, advanced character formats, indents and spacing, space before none, space after, 10. Woo! Right, and so all then normal paragraph styles. Oh, changed it to black. Whatever, I don't care. But one way, shape, or form, you're seeing how to do the space before and space after. That's kind of the big thing. Then what you need to do is give me the column size and some of these other specifications, right? So, bio page 1, Sunkula, save. Main headline. I'm going to do and take the line tool, and I am going to draw a line. Right. We got the slow clap in on video now. Great. Okay.
And you just gotta extract it, put it on the outside.
So now if I want to give that a color, go up under window, stroke, and say, I don't know, 0.5, that sounds good to me. 0.1 point, whatever. Arrowheads. That one looks good. And then I can say over here, Arial, black, 36 over 36, right? Oops, 36 over 36. Space after, what was it, 8 pixels, right? So you can just start doing your specifications like that. Tell me how, so again, if we go back here to bio page 1, right, you can see my example, you know, I didn't do the type, like what typeface it is. Please do that. But when I say 21 over 21, that means 21 point size over 21 leaded. Okay. So if I say 14 over 21, etc., right? Then space before or space after, space before, however you want to call it out. I also want you to call out the column width, right? Again, what I also want you to do is, according to the assignment page, right, you must include your logo, a level 2 heading or a main heading, at least 2 level 3 headings or subheadings, right? Again, if you're using H1 or H2 for main, whatever, right? Doesn't matter to me. At least 2 paragraphs, right? Like I said, somewhere, make sure that there are 2 paragraphs in a row, right? 1 ordered list, 1 unordered list, a block quote, and a text link, right? Like what color is the text link, etc., so on and so forth. I like the cascade. That's good. That's really good. Nice. So moving on. Does that make sense? Save. So that's how to create a document in Illustrator and do those specifications, et cetera, et cetera. So hopefully that recorded. Let's see.